This video is the 5th installment in my Rank Up Guide series, which offers tips and advice for every Rocket League rank. Once you rank up, be sure to check out the next video in the series covering everything you need to know to get out of Champ. There will be a link in the description. Firstly, let's take a look at the mechanics that are important to focus on. At Diamond, you need a solid, basic kickoff. Although there are a couple options, a kickoff that involves a single diagonal flip would be your best bet. A diagonal flip is easy to execute, allowing you to be consistent, and looks like this. In the previous video, we discussed getting powerful touches on the ball. Now we will take that to the next stage by combining power and placement, which is best achieved by using air roll. Dedicate some time to practicing your shot placement in custom training packs, such as the one shown on the screen now. If you're in a position in-game where you're unable to get power or placement on the shot, try to take the ball elsewhere or make a pass instead of handing over possession with a weak hit towards net. Improving your control while on the wall will allow yourself to get solid touches and strong backboard clears. In previous videos, I've emphasized the importance of defending from the backboard. If you're someone who tends to stay on the ground and sit in the net when rotating back post, take yourself out of your comfort zone and drive up the backboard if you anticipate a strong backboard hit from the opponents. Here is a great training pack to practice this. Besides improving mechanics, increasing your awareness, which is your knowledge or perception of a situation, will help greatly. Firstly, your teammates. You need to know where they are whenever possible. If you can't see them in your normal field of view, start using your camera swivel or reverse camera more often. Having more information about their position will allow you to make more passes, have clear rotations, and assist them in both offensive and defensive plays. Make sure you're rotating back post. If you don't know what this means, I have an entire video on it. Check it out via the link in the description if you want more information. Make sure you're not too close to your teammate, but also not too far. In a number of videos I've seen in the past, it's often described as being one grid square away from your teammate like this. Being aware of where your teammates are will also minimize the number of double and triple commits, which is where multiple players on your team go for the exact same hit. Do not go for the ball if someone from your team is already going for the touch. Instead, put yourself in a position to follow up their hit, or miss. I mean fake. They're definitely faking. On the flip side, you also need to pay attention to where your opponents are. I often see people mention that they hate getting demoed. If you're someone who hates getting demoed, keep track of where your opponents are so that you're able to predict when a demo could happen. Using camera swivel and reverse camera can help with this. Knowing where the opponents are will also allow you to make more calculated passes and predict whether or not a touch will be intercepted by them before reaching a teammate. Use this information to make strong passes, especially in field, where your teammate will reach the ball first. Boost is such an important part of the game, and having good boost management will give your team the upper hand. At this stage, you should have memorized the positions of every boost pad on the field, and be driving around in a manner that allows you to pick up boost wherever you go. Taking this a step further, you can start to use your knowledge of where your opponents have driven to predict how much boost the other players on the field have. Sometimes it's obvious when a ball is quite close to an opponent, but they still take forever to reach it, or when they refuse to leave net despite the ball being seemingly right there. If your opponent is usually driving around the field like a speed demon, and then is all of a sudden barely moving, they're probably low on boost. Going hand in hand with your awareness is decision making. Challenges are instances where you try to beat or meet an opponent at the ball. For example, this is a challenge because both players touch the ball at almost the exact same time, whereas this is not a challenge since the player has a lot of space and nobody else is going for the ball. Well-timed challenges are key to improving in Rocket League, and at this rank you need to make smart decisions on when and when not to challenge. A large part of deciding when to go for a ball involves knowing where your teammates and the opponents are. Most of the time, it's best to wait until your teammate rotates behind you before you challenge, so that if you lose the 50-50, someone will be there to back you up instead of having the ball roll right into an open net. Whenever you have possession of the ball, go for plays that have a high success rate. I guarantee you can get to Grand Champion without ever hitting a flip reset in-game. I pretty much did. Consistent shots with power and good placement beat flip reset musty backboard double taps any day of the week. If your focus is to improve and rank up, spend time perfecting the basics and less time trying to learn insanely hard mechanics. Although learning difficult skills is helpful, as it assists you in working towards even better overall control, the reward to time ratio is very low. If you're not hitting flip resets 90% of the time, don't go for them in ranked matches. An often underutilized skill is faking. A fake involves you moving your car in a way that makes the opponent believe you're going to make a certain touch, and then at the last moment, you cancel it and send them flying past. At this stage, you should avoid doing fakes on your side of the field, especially close to your net, but try implementing them every once in a while in offense. You'll improve these over time. One of the most important areas to focus on at this stage is training. Free play always has and will continue to be one of the best ways to practice. Whenever I've wanted to learn or improve on a mechanic, I would practice in 10 to 15 minute sessions. Want to improve your front flicks? Go into free play and practice front flicks over and over for 10 minutes. Want to work on air dribbles? Go into free play and practice air dribbles over and over for 10 minutes. If any of you don't have Backy's mod, I highly recommend it. It is a mod for Rocket League that is completely safe to use and offers some great training features that minimize wasted time. A link to it will be in the description, but please note it is only available for those of you on Steam. Heading straight into ranked games each day isn't necessarily the best way to rank up, so make sure you spend some time each day before you start grinding to warm up. Do some custom training packs, such as the one shown on the screen now. Work on a few skills in free play, or tackle some workshop maps. If you feel like you're super inconsistent, spend more time on your warm-up each day. It helped me out a ton. If you're playing on Steam, be sure to utilize the workshop. Workshop maps can make training a lot more fun as you're in a different environment. I suggest the rings maps if you want to practice aerial car control, or the dribble maps if you want to work on your dribbling and flick consistency. There will be a link in the description to the most popular workshop maps, but be sure to explore them for yourself. I mention this in every video, but play as much 1v1 as possible. Regardless of whether it's your favourite mode or not, it will help you out a ton as you can focus entirely on your own game and not have to worry about teammates. It will allow you to be more creative on offensive and defensive plays, so as much as possible, play 1v1 and use it to learn. A huge shout out and thanks to Coach Curtis, who has dedicated a large amount of time to help me with this set of videos. If any of you are interested in individual or team coaching, you can reach him on his Discord. Check out the description for a link to join.